Hare Krishna.
Hare
And
Krishna,
say
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I'll say the Mangalacharan and then we'll start. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadesha Tarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna everyone. So now we are going to study the 7th chapter, where you will see that it covers all the Vedic references. Okay, in the 6th chapter, we have seen Krishna, we have seen Rupa Goswami explaining to us which are the 64 items of devotional service, which there in the first 20 items, Srila Rupa Goswami has given us, out of which some are pravrutti, means which we should accept, and the others are nivrutti, which we must not accept or avoid. And out of these 20 items of a devotional service, the first 18 are discussed in this chapter 7 with evidence. So he has given, Rupa Goswami has given us the evidence of these devotional principles in this chapter 7. And chapter 8 covers the 19th item, which is offense to the holy name, which is also very important. So this is how he has given us just not the items of devotional service, but evidence, because we always are in that mode that we want to argue, we want to ask for proof, we don't accept anything as it is. Okay, so now we'll go into this chapter. Should I take you to the slides right from the beginning?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, for revision. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Okay. Before we start, we'll pay our obeisances to Shri Radha Govinda. It is because of their mercy that we can sit through the entire class and try to get some realization, however small it may be. Also, let's pay our obeisances to Namanishta Prabhuji. He started this entire, online Bhagavad Gita 18 days. And somehow we got connected to Shri Radha Govinda. So his role is very important. And also let's Sadar Pranam to Prema Mataji. She has given each one of us a chance. So, while when we hear her class, we do understand, but when we have to teach, then I think each one of us goes a little deep into the topic, which helps us a lot in learning. Okay, so this is chapter 6. We'll just take a quick recap. So we saw that there are 16 items of devotional service, or the 64 principles of devotional service. So they are in two categories. First 20, which are the primary, include the pravritti and nivritti, that is do's and the don'ts. And in the additional 44 items, he has spoken about sadhana and the 5 potent forms. So he has given us what we have to do, how we have to practice our devotional service. So here, these are some of the things which are very important. One is accepting the shelter of of the lotus feet of a bona fide spiritual master, becoming initiated by the spiritual master and learning how to discharge devotional service from him, obeying the orders of the spiritual master. I think number 4 they have missed. Number 4 will be, does anyone remember? Number 4 is instruction. Instruction from the spiritual master, and the last is serving the guru. So here this could be inquiring from the spiritual master how to advance in Krishna consciousness. Okay, fourth one is given here, following the footsteps of the great acharyas under the direction of the spiritual master. So these are very important, and today we are going to talk about this in the 7th chapter. Okay, this is being prepared to give up anything for the anything material for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, residing in a sacred place of pilgrimage like Dwarka or Vrindavan, accepting only what is necessary, or dealing with the material world only as far as necessary, observing the fasting day Ekadashi, and worshipping sacred trees like the banyan tree. Okay, and these are the nivritti. Don't associate with the non-devotees, and don't make offenses, don't trouble others. So out of these 64 items, 5 items which are very, very important are worshipping the deity, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with the devotees, Sankirtan, and living in Mathura. Now we'll go to chapter 7. So now we'll see the evidence. Okay, now we have to accept a spiritual master, and we have to abide by this instruction. Now, why is this most important? Because the spiritual master is realized, and he shows us the way how to walk on this path of bhakti yoga. Where do you see this evidence? We see this evidence, you can say, in almost canto, in each and every canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, who is a bona fide spiritual master? He is a Uttam Adhikari, and in Nectar of Instruction, verse 1, it tells us that one who can control the 6 types of your bodily demands, the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, urges of tongue, Beni Genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So, this is you accept the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. And then, once you take the shelter, then the second step is you take initiation from the spiritual master. You take his instructions and act accordingly. Now, again, why do you have to act as per the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master? Because he is a representative of Krishna. Okay, and he is going to teach us how to read Bhagavatam. Just reading the text and understanding the context is very different. You have to learn how to apply it in your life. And how must our attitude be? Is we must satisfy him. So during the Vedic times, if you see that each guru had his ashram and the disciples would reside there. It's like a long 20 years, 25 years, they would stay at his place in the ashram. They would take instructions from the guru of a seva. So this was the brahmachari life. And after following the brahmachari life very strictly, and after studying the scriptures through and through, then you could go out of Gurukul and then enter the Gruhastha. So when you do this, the Gruhastha now will have the mood to serve the Supreme Lord, not sense gratification. Now, Gruhastha life means a life of sense gratification. So then, after practicing Gruhastha Shrama for 25 years, then they would go to Vanaprastha, retire in the forest. So this was the Vedic lifestyle. And we must understand this. Why we have to accept a bona fide spiritual master, why we must act according to the instructions. Without really understanding, we can't go about doing all these 64 items of devotional service. You will get something even if you don't understand. So that will go into Ajnat Sukruti. But now we want to go back to Krishna, back home. So we have to understand each and every step which we do. Okay. Now is serving the spiritual master with faith. Apply, you have to apply the knowledge which he has taught. Okay, and you have to serve him. Then one very important but in this is you don't have to be envious of him. We must be non-envious. Okay, and serving your spiritual master is equal to serving all the demigods. Now it is very important that we understand this science, and then we serve our spiritual master. So just not for the purpose of just because it is written that you have to serve him, you have to follow his instructions. No, we have to first understand that he is a representative of he is a representative of Krishna, and you have to serve him. So taking shelter or initiation of a guru is known as Guru Padashraya. So in the previous times, if you remember, in the Brahmins are very orthodox, and they would not allow men of the lower caste to enter the temple. So Gandhiji started the Harijana movement, okay, and since they were like untouchables or not allowed to enter the temple, so instead of calling them untouchables, Gandhiji labeled them as Harijan. But these Harijans did not know the science, okay, science of Krishna consciousness, or what etiquettes one has to follow when one does deity worship. So there's so many, it's a science, okay. So what did they do? So it caused damage. These Harijans caused damage to society because they did not know the etiquettes. So one who does not follow Shruti, Smruti, Puranas, such a person is a disturbance to the society. You know, Prabhupada has used the word utpat to the society. So one who is not trained in Krishna consciousness, where there's no understanding, and if such people are allowed to go to the altar, it's not correct. So actually, no one must be barred from entering the temple, but at the same time, they must be qualified. Qualification does not depend on what caste you are. So anyone who is expert in the science of Krishna consciousness can be a guru. And who can be a disciple? One who is willing to take the instructions of the guru, and one who is willing to follow the injunctions of scriptures can become a disciple. So Sanatan Goswami has said that in alchemy, if you take bell metal and mercury and mix them together, you get gold. Similarly, here, if you take any jiva and you give him the holy name, what will happen through a process of Krishna consciousness? He will become a pure devotee. He'll become a Vaishnava. So, just like a son, he on his father's death can claim all his property. Similarly, each jiva has the right to chant and claim the property of the Supreme Lord. So, what is the property of the Supreme Lord? The property of the Supreme Lord is his mercy. Okay, so each jiva can get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Now, actually, do you all know the story of Mr. Sethi and Srila Prabhupada? Have you heard? Hare Krishna.
Uh, no, Mataji.
Okay, so I'll just tell you, it's like very interesting. So I thought I'll share this, story in our nectar of devotion. You'll get many stories from the Srimad Bhagavatam, but this I just wanted to tell you. So Srila Prabhupada had a very dear friend and a staunch devotee by the name Mr. P.L. Sethi. And when Srila Prabhupada came to Mumbai with his disciples from the US, Mr. Sethi read about them in a newspaper. That Srila Prabhupada is coming from US with his disciples, and they all chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, coincidentally, Mr. Sethi was also a part of a group who was chanting Hare Krishna. So a desire arose in him to go and meet Srila Prabhupada. So he found out his address, where he's staying, and went to meet him. So when he met Srila Prabhupada, so Srila Prabhupada asked him, how is your day? How is your day, Dincharya? So she said that I get up early in the morning. I have a cup of tea and a piece of toast. I read newspaper and go to work. So then Srila Prabhupada said, then what is the difference between you and a pig? Imagine, some guru speaking, uh, comparing you to a pig. So then Mr. Sethi thought about it. And then, when Srila Prabhupada told him, like, what you have to eat, how you have to chant, he followed Srila Prabhupada. And he said that every Sunday you should invite the devotees in your area and do Harinam Sankirtan. You should feed them sumptuous prasadam. Okay, so he was doing that, and during the meantime, in the meantime, Srila Prabhupada got the Juhu land, okay, for the ISKCON temple, and he had to face a lot of obstacles, to put up the building, put up the temple. So it was a great struggle, and Mr. Sethi happened to be a building contractor. So he helped Prabhupada a lot to get, there was a demolition order also, okay, when the building was being constructed. So everything, they had to pay bribes to some people so that the work would continue. So somehow they got the permission to build the temple. So this Mr. Sethi, he helped Prabhupada a lot. Okay, he got all the permissions, all the sanctions. He helped Prabhupada a lot, and he also built his house next to the temple. Okay, he built next to the temple, and then and he was chanting, and he was a very good devotee, but he wasn't initiated. So all his friends and all other Srila Prabhupada's disciples asked him that why are you not initiated? Why don't you take initiation? Okay, you are the right person. You love Prabhupada so much. Okay, so then he one day decided that he'll ask Srila Prabhupada that why am I not getting initiated? So he asked Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada said, see, there's so many initiated disciples over here, and they're serving the deities. Okay, but you are serving me. You are serving a devotee of Krishna, which is even uh, higher than serving, you're serving a devotee of Krishna is higher than serving Krishna himself. You don't know about it, but I know about it. As you are building this temple, as you are building houses for the rooms for the devotees to stay, Krishna is making building a nice palace for you in Vrindavan, in Golok Vrindavan. So he said, even though you are not initiated in the sense, but you are serving a pure devotee of Krishna, you are initiated. And then he said that I don't want to initiate you because then it may be awkward for you to go through some of these things, like now you have to go take sanctions, you have to pay bribe, and, do so many things which is not actually done by a devotee. So, this is the story. And then, towards the end, when he was very, very sick, like 80 plus or something, so during his last moments of death, all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada were by his side, and they were all doing Harinam Sankirtan. So, hearing the holy name, he left this mortal world. So this is, the story. Of course, I told you in short that how he helped Prabhupada and how Prabhupada felt for him. So follow, and he was like, you have to serve your spiritual master with faith. You can't say my spiritual master has not given initiation. Now I'll leave him. He didn't do that. His faith was so strong, so rock solid that he held on to Prabhupada and believed each and every word he spoke. Okay, so we must also have that kind of a faith. Now, fourth step is, the fourth devotional principle is following the footsteps of saintly persons. But so you have to follow, first thing is your spiritual master. However, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Buddha, Gautam Buddha, although he is the supreme personality of Godhead, or you can say the personality of Godhead, he is rejected because he has not followed the previous authorities. And this incarnation of Gautam Buddha had a different motive. There was a different purpose. You know, at the time when Sri Krishna left for Goloka, Vrindavan, after that, in the period after that, there was a lot of animal sacrifice. And to stop the animals, and the people said that this is written in the Vedas, and in the Karmakand section there is a they have said that if, see, it is a Karmakand is not going to elevate you to the highest level. Okay, so in Karmakand there were people who were very addicted to eating non-veg. So Veda said, okay, if you are addicted to eating non-veg, you can have non-veg only once a month. And before you have non-veg, whatever goat or whatever hen, whatever you're killing, that you first serve to Kali Mata. And then you eat that as prasadam, and that is allowed only once a month. And actually, during when you kill the animal in front of the goddess, you have to, before killing the animal, you have to chant a mantra in the ear. Do you all know which mantra it is?
In this birth, I am eating you. In next birth, you eat me.
Yes, so you have to chant this mantra. So why you have to chant this mantra? So some sense goes into the person who's killing this animal, and he will refrain from killing. But all this was not done directly. Killing was done in front of the goddess, and everyone thought that because this killing is done in front of the goddess, I can satisfy my tongue to any limit. Okay, now suddenly to take these people, you know, who are killing animals and this, to worshipping God is very difficult. First, like we all know, na, even now for devotional service, until and unless the anartha nivritti happens, we cannot reach bhava bhakti or prema bhakti. We'll be in the sadhana bhakti only. Okay, the anartha nivritti has to be there. It is a third stage. First stage is shraddha. Second is sadhu sanga. Then is bhajan kriya. So after the three stages comes anartha nivritti. Okay, and then you can your faith in the Supreme Lord and the other asakti, ruchi, everything follows. So anartha nivritti is very important. So Gautam Buddha had only one purpose in mind: to stop the animal sacrifice. Okay, so to stop the animal sacrifice, he has said that this Vedas is nonsense. You just don't obey what is written in the Vedas, but you follow me. Okay, if you have not created the animal, you don't have the right to kill the animal. Okay, so his purpose was totally different, to make a platform so that the people could follow the devotional service. So so all these things our Guru has to tell us, explain it to us, that why you don't have to follow some things which are written, which seem to be true, but we cannot follow it. Okay, so one. So we have to inquire about the religious principles. We must prepare to give up material enjoyment. Residing in a sacred place. Okay, so giving up material enjoyment. So at least 2 days in a month we can fast on Ekadashi. So we all like to eat morning, afternoon, night time. Is there anyone here who doesn't like to eat all three times? We like, however little we may eat, but we want to have our food morning, evening, afternoon. But here, what is the purpose of Ekadashi? You all have this book. It's a very nice book. Okay, Ekadashi. So I'll just read out, which something that is relevant from here. So in this world, our natural inclination is towards material pleasures. However, for the ultimate goal of love of Lord Krishna, one should have detachment from material enjoyment. Even while performing all the activities of the world, at least twice a month, one should be detached from all their delights and contemplate on God for the purpose and for this purpose, observance of Ekadashi fasting is prescribed. One should not partake meals on both the bright and the dark halves of the lunar month of Ekadashi. And you all know the story of how Ekadashi has appeared. Do you know?
I've seen that Gufa, Mataji, Ekadashi Gufa in Uttaranchal.
Yeah. But do you know how Ekadashi has appeared?
I don't remember the
Okay,
story now.
I'll tell you in very short. There was a demon known as Mura. Okay, and there was a battle between Mura and Vishnu, and uh, it went on for many thousands of years. And after that, Lord Vishnu was tired. Okay, and he took rest in a cave, which you saw, that same cave. And then from his body came out a girl, and this girl fought with Mura and killed him. And she appeared on the 11th day of the waning period. Okay, so since she appeared on the 11th day, she was named as Ekadashi. And one of the names of Krishna is Murari. Mur plus Ari. Ari means enemy. Okay, so he is Murari. So, and she killed the demon. So, one must be prepared to give up anything material for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, why should we fast on Ekadashi and other auspicious days is to express our love for Krishna. Okay, as I told you, our meals are very dear to us. They're dear to us now because we get energy and we love eating. So it's very dear to us. So we have to give up voluntarily. Give up the meals. Try to eat at least one meal. You try to have just milk and fruits. Okay. Slowly, two meals you try to have milk and fruits. So somehow something we have to work out so we get detached from the body. We get detached from the material pleasures, the material enjoyment. Okay. And then on Ekadashi, we have to accept something which we may not like to accept. Chant more. Chant 32 rounds or chant 20 rounds. So we have to, accept something. We have to give up something. And you must be ready to give up something so that Krishna is happy. Okay, so this is very important. Fasting on Ekadashi. I'll just tell you what is written in about Ekadashi in some of the Puranas. Observing the fast on Sri Ekadashi with a remembrance of Lord Govinda is the means of atonement for all sins, a way to cross over the ocean of material existence. O best, it is given in Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas, okay, whatever I'm reading. O best among the Vaishyas, if one observes the Ekadashi fast in any stage of life, be it childhood, youth, or old age, they never attain an inauspicious destination. The Vishnu Purana states that just as the primordial sound Om is worshipped by all the Vedas, similarly, among the vows, the Ekadashi vow is considered the best and the most supreme. Okay, so this is Ekadashi. It's very, very important. Ekadashi, and Srila Prabhupada also has recommended Ekadashi fasting. So, what are the benefits of Ekadashi fasting? One is your sins get washed out, your devotion increases, you gain self-control over your senses, then overcoming obstacles, attaining the spiritual abode. So this is very important. Like, see, our soul, or our mind, is covered with with lots of dirt. There's lots of contamination. Okay, because of this contamination, on the path of bhakti we face obstacles. See, some days it happens, you chant very well, but some days you don't get the taste, or you are really overcome by some material, something that is material. Okay, so all these are impurities of the mind. So these impurities need to be washed out. So just like I told you the tale that demon Mora, he was defeated by Ekadashi for the sake of peace. Okay, and then Lord Vishnu was so happy with this Ekadashi that he blessed her that if any person observes a fast on Ekadashi, he also will be able to free himself from the sin and impurities of the mind. So these are the demons which stop us from going to Krishna. Okay, now even I was just hearing some lecture, I don't remember. So in that, the one, it was some Mataji. So she was saying that we go to the temple, we bow down, we do Dandavat Pranam. So all this happens. Sometimes we do it mechanically also, but still, what happens when you do that? There's so much impurity in your heart, but as you're doing that, that little impurity, just falls down, just falls down. And similarly, one of this is fasting on Ekadashi. You become cleansed of the material impurities. Similarly, there is one offering respect to the banyan tree. So, like there's worship of holy trees. So this is mentioned in Skanda Puran. That you should bow down to the banyan tree, to the tulsi tree, and you should feed the cows, take care of cows. So all this holy trees is mentioned in Skanda Puran. So simply by worshipping these trees, there is a removal of sin, which is favorable for manifestation of bhakti. Okay, so simply even by just go touch the tree or just offer your pranam, that itself will help, some of that impurity gets washed out. Just like supposing there's a vegetable, that is covered with lots of mud, and you just open the tap and hold the vegetable under it, that mud gets washed out. Okay, now supposing if there's a thick layer of mud, you increase the power of the water that's flowing down. When a lot of water gushes out, that mud automatically falls off. Similarly, when we are doing all these things, just because Srila Prabhupada has told us, just because Srila Rupa Goswami has told us, what happens? This impurity gets washed. You know, you will not realize. Slowly, your chanting is becoming effective. You won't realize that you can sit throughout the day. You've been really busy, and still some rounds are to be chanted, and you will chant them with the same zeal as you were chanting them early in the morning. You know, so this is all the effect of the impurities getting washed out. So this is very important, like just like a dampened wood. Okay, what happens? Can you light it? No, you can't light a dampened wood. So it has to be first dried and then you light the wood. Similarly, our heart is dampened with so much of sinful reaction, so much material contamination, so many material impurities. So this has to go. Okay, once this goes, you will taste the ruchi. You know, you can actually taste the name, which is so sweet. So they have also said, you know, you're offering respect to the banyan tree. They have said that Vishnu lives in the trunk of the banyan tree. In the root of the banyan tree lives Lord Brahma, and in the leaves or the branches is Lord Shiva. So they have said this in Skanda Puran. So offering and other, if you have seen, many sages have done their sadhana also under a banyan tree. Now here they've used the word banyan tree. So banyan tree comes that a botanical name is fig. Okay, for a banyan tree in which the peepal tree is also included. So if you know that Buddha, he attained enlightenment under the fig, under the peepal tree. Okay, they all go to Gaya and that Bodhi tree, they call it. So it is there. Okay, for us, now let's see the stories which you may have heard about the banyan tree, about Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadev Goswami. He was sitting under a banyan tree and reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. Then there is this in the Kurukshetra war. Shri Krishna recited the Gita or gave this wisdom of Gita to Arjuna under a banyan tree. Have you all been to Kurukshetra? The tree is still there, they say. So if you go there, you go and see this banyan tree is there. So they have said, so this is directly evidence I'm giving you. And do you remember the story of that cobbler and Narad Muni, that passing an elephant through the eye of a needle? Do you remember that story?
Yes, he's God. He can do whatever he wants.
Yes. So where was the cobbler sitting? He was chanting the names. He was remembering Krishna. Do you know the story? See, I'll just tell you in short. There was a cobbler. Okay, he was sitting under a huge banyan tree, in the shade of the banyan tree, and he was a very good devotee of Krishna. He was chanting the names, so and doing his job. But his job, he was working with leather. Okay, the skin of dead animals, and making shoes and footwear. So one day, a very important personality walks towards him, and that is Narad Muni. And he is so happy. Oh, I am a cobbler, and look who is coming towards me. So this exalted sage is coming, and they are both having a talk, and then he tells Narad Muni, "Where are you going now?" So he said, "I'm going to Vaikuntha." So he said, "Okay, can you ask Narayan this one question for me?" So, okay, he says, "What question?" So he says, the question, "When will I go back to Vaikuntha?" So Narad Muni says, "Okay." And then there's a temple nearby, and there's a Brahmana over there who is following all these, principles for worshipping the deity and everything. So Brahmana also asked the same question to Narad Muni, that please ask Narayana, when will I go back to him? And he goes and he asks this question. So Narayana says to the Brahmana, you say that I am passing an elephant through the eye of a needle, and the same thing you tell the cobbler. They will both ask what I was doing. Okay, and he says, Narayana says, the Brahmana will return to me after 100 births, and the cobbler will return back to me after this birth, immediately after this birth. So Narad Muni goes and he tells them, and the Brahmana said, what was Narayana doing? Then he says, passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. So Brahmana says, yes. So that is what, how he must have wrongly said that I will come after 100 births. And when the same thing the cobbler heard, he was so elated, he started jumping and dancing, and there were tears flowing from his eyes. So then Narad Muni said that, why are you dancing and jumping and crying? Can anyone pass an elephant through an eye of a needle? So he said, yes. So just see this seed of a banyan tree. It is so tiny, but in this small seed, the entire banyan tree is packed. Okay, so see, now staying under a banyan tree and doing your sadhana is very, very good. Similarly, you all may be having tulsi plant in your house. So you just, the only thing you have to do is circumambulate tulsi, offer one ghee lamp every day, water it. Even if you see, take darshan of tulsi, it's very effective in cleaning away your sins. And then they say, like if you circumambulate tulsi, then you say, yani kani cha papani janmantar krutani cha tani sarvani nashyanti pradakshine pade pade. So as I circumambulate around you, please remove my sins, please remove my sins. So there are many wonderful stories about Tulsi also, that how she has helped many people, and they're very nice stories. You can go on the internet and read all of them. So similarly, just remember that story of dampened wood. So our heart is like that, filled with all impurities. So these are the small things, that will aid our progress on bhakti. They're very small things, and it may look like, what is this? What is this? But they are very powerful. And just because Rupa Goswami has said, we must do it with lots of faith. So, worshipping the holy plants is an avenue for washing our sinful reactions and becoming mature in bhakti. Okay, so then that bhakti lata beej, will just grow luxuriously in our heart. Okay, now supposing a farmer buys land and it is full of weeds, will he get a good harvest? No, he has to uproot all the weeds. Similarly, we are in the process, we are doing devotional service and practice sadhana bhakti. So this becomes an essential part, to remove all these anarthas from our heart, so that our bhakti lata beach grows well. Okay, so these are so many things are there. They are small, yet they are very, very important. Okay, now giving up company of non-devotees. So giving up company of non-devotees. Non-devotees means there are three categories: atheist, demigod worshippers, and Mayavadis. Okay, so about demigod worshippers, what has Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, that you have to give up you have to give up the association of non-devotees, except cage of iron or fire, but not non-devotees. Means he says that you can risk jumping into the fire, but never be with non-devotees. Prefer to embrace a snake, tiger, alligator than the association of non-devotees. So it's very clear that we have to totally avoid the company of non-devotees. Now you may say that we are there in this material world, and in this material world it's very difficult, to give this up completely, because we do have to associate sometimes in the office or in our building with people who are non-devotees. But then one way to do this is we have to insulate ourselves from these non-devotees, so we don't give them our mental association. Okay, or we don't take their mental association. So one way to insulate this is to attend the morning program, chant your 16 rounds, attend Mangalarti, read Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's like a very powerful insulation. So this we have to do. We should give up the company of non-devotees. Then again, 12 to 14, not accepting unfit disciples. So in 7 canto Srimad Bhagavatam, you can read about this example. And one must avoid pride, prestige, and follow Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's formula of printing books. Okay, one must be straightforward in his dealings, whether it's financial transactions or emotional transactions. So here also in your emotional transactions, if they're very strong emotions of hatred, of anger, what happens, a lot of energy is spent in this, and your thoughts keep on going towards that one emotion of anger or hatred. And what happens because of this, there is absolutely no energy left for Krishna. Have you experienced it any time?
All the time.
It's hard to believe all the time, but sometimes, you do experience it. Supposing you're very angry, and if you're walking on the road, your thoughts are focused on the anger, and sometimes your friend is coming, is very close, and you don't happen to see him also. You're just thinking, you're lost in your thought. So that is, these strong emotions, they just suck up all your energy and nothing is left for your sadhana. So you have to be very, very careful of the emotions. So if you know your emotions are coming, either if you don't know how to get out of them, you should either have a counselor whom you can trust, and you can take some counseling, and then you see the difference in yourself. Because see, if you're walking on the path of bhakti yoga, you can't have these obstacles, all the time, just troubling you. So this has to be straightforwardness in your financial dealings and emotional dealings also. It's very, very important. Okay, not neglect demigods. Okay, so here you have seen that, okay, leave alone demigods, but even an ant, this, the story of Mrugari. Okay, so when Narad Muni came to meet him after he initiated him into the Harinam, and then after a few years he came and he saw that this Mrugari is jumping on his 1 foot and coming to meet him. And while he did Dandavat, he spread a white chaddar in front of Narad Muni so that he shouldn't trample on the ants. Okay, so we must not neglect the demigods. So here, why not neglect the demigods? See, because Krishna's representative is the Guru. Okay, and Krishna, have you seen the picture of the universal form of Krishna? So it has all the demigods in him. You see the picture which is given in the Bhagavad Gita or in the 18-day slide. So you will see at one place Shiva, you will see Brahma, you will see Ganesha. So that is the Virat roop of Krishna. So we cannot show disrespect to demigods. Okay, this is very, very important that we cannot neglect the demigods, rather more than neglect, we cannot disrespect the demigods. We all know that they are in charge of one item in this material world, and they are serving Krishna. They are pure devotees of Krishna. Okay, and the last is not giving pain to any living entity. Again, you'll see this Mrugari. He's trying not to give pain to even an ant. Okay, so not giving pain to any living entity. One should never support slaughterhouses. So we must remember that we should follow all this as much to the maximum degree we can. And when we do that, Krishna will also help us. And out of this, most important is you have to surrender to your guru, to your spiritual master. Surrender is the only qualification. You know this story about this brahmachari in Chaitanya Charitamrita who was leading a very austere life. So he is having only milk and fruits. And every evening there is Sankirtan in Srivasangan. And this brahmachari goes every day and asks Srivas, Prabhuji, that can I come and attend your kirtan? Can I come? And he thinks about himself to be a very pious brahmachari because he's having only milk and fruits. He's doing penance. And each time he's turned down by Srivas Thakur that no, you can't come, you can't come. One day, somehow, Srivas Thakur allowed him to attend the Sankirtan. And soon, in some time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Mahaprabhu, who were dancing in ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that I am not getting the taste of the holy name. Srivas, has anyone come here uninvited? Has anyone come here uninvited? So this brahmachari hears this and he walks out. So while going out, he starts cursing his austerities and cursing his and now what is the use of the austerity if I'm not able to attend the kirtan? Okay, and as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hears this, he tells Srivas Thakur, call him back. So this brahmachari, when he shows humility, he is shown mercy. He is given mercy by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So our qualification should be to surrender. Surrender means one item surrender is there, then all the 64 items will follow. Okay, then we will do just what our Guru wants us to do. So that total surrender should come. And the total surrender will come when you are washed out of all material impurities. Then you have that attraction for Krishna or that, bhava bhakti.
Yeah, till what time is your exam on Thursday?
So Okay, I think I'll end this now.
He's
Okay,
training
and
us also with the exam.
similarly, so similarly, we know that Ravana and Hiranyakashipu, they did their tapasya austerities for thousands of years, and yet Krishna killed them both. So austerity does not give us a right to go close to Krishna, but surrendering to our spiritual master. That is the correct process of bhakti, and that will give us entry into the spiritual world. Okay, and just see if I've left out anything. No, that's chapter 7. Okay, I think I will first stop the recording.